Welcome to the Leroy Carlton Show. I am your host, Leroy Carlton, and today I have a special guest, or should I say guest? It is a couple that I have great history with. But as always, God is in the forefront of everything that we do, so I would like to start off with a quick prayer. Lord, I really love the quiet times when I don't even have to speak, but I know we are still talking. I love to sit in your presence and drink in silence. It fills my spirit in so many ways. Thank you for leading me beside the still waters and knowing when I just need to have a quiet time. I know that when I take time to be alone with you, I start believing I'm doing all the right on my own. I know that in those times, it would be better for me to stay still, to be silent, and not be thought foolish. When I forget to be quiet, please remind me and help me to find all my strength and wisdom in you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say first that I am honored to have the guests on that I have. But let me tell you a little bit about them. The gentleman is from Indianapolis, Indiana. He went to Crispus Attucks High School. He went to George Washington High School and was a all-city wrestling champion and all-city honorable mention in football, which I did not know. Wow. He was a defensive tackle. He had a scholarship at St. Joseph College in Indiana, the University of Northern Iowa, with a partial scholarship to the university, but he decided to go to a HBCU, St. Augustine College in Raleigh, where he majored in math and English and a minor in communications. That's decent. When he came home, he went to Ivy Tech Community College for an electrical engineering degree. But college just wasn't his niche. So he decided that he's going to go to Chrysler and work with his dad. When Chrysler closed their doors in 2005, he moved to Rockville, Illinois to work for the Belvedere Assembly Plant. He has two beautiful daughters. Before he left Indianapolis, Jalen Regan and Lauren Marie Beckles. After 6 years in Illinois, God blessed him with his soulmate and another baby girl, Naomi Faith Beckles. As of October 29th, they will be married for 14 years. Now residing in Warren, Michigan, for the past 3 years, he's the CEO of a financial service brokerage for 10 years. Now, for her, she is a financial strategist who believes in protecting life, health, and income. She is from the Caribbean islands. She later in life moved to Rockford, Illinois. She went to Auburn High School and graduated in 2004. Several years she worked in the healthcare field, and she worked as a CNA for over 4 years. But God saw fit for her to get married to a wonderful man and start a beautiful family in 2011. For several years, she was a stay-at-home mom, and she loved being a stay-at-home mom. But in January of 2016, she got accepted to an LPN school, which was one of the hardest things she ever had to do. Like I said, October 29th, they will be married for 14 years. They have 3 kids, 2 of the kids, which are adults. And October 15th, they welcomed their first grandchild. I want to make sure I get this right. Kason. I hope I got that right. November 23, she decided that she's going to be a full-time financial strategist. But the position pulled her out of her comfort zone, which she always wanted. She absolutely loved what she do. And she herself became a client because she was worrying about her retirement. Now she's all about helping families relieve the stress of retirement. But her number one hobby is traveling because she loved to partake in different cultures. Now, before I tell you who these two people are, I have a quick story on what made my wife and I love this couple. And I'm sure he's going to get a kick out of this. But we met them in 2019 at ECP. For those of you that know what that is, he had already won the event 5 freaking times. 5 times. He had already won the event. And he was coming to get number 6. Well, we was going to go all out to make sure he did not get number 6. Now, when you get to a certain point in this event, you have the ability to challenge the person that's either on you or just for giggles somebody that's at the lower end of the spectrum to just take them out. Well, he was in the number 1 seat and we were number 2. So he said, I challenged the Carltons. Now, he was real big on production. We were real big on recruiting. So he challenged us to production and we challenged him to recruiting. Now, needless to say, we beat him in recruiting, but he beat us in production. And you had to wager a certain amount of points. Well, his points outbeat our points. So he wound up winning again. He won number 6. But here's the thing that made me love this brother. Even though he won number 6, and I was pretty hot. I was ready to leave Illinois. There wasn't no need for me to be there anymore. He came up to me after they put the results up on the glass. He came up to me and he put his hand on my shoulder. And this is his exact words because I remember it like yesterday. He said, brother, I just want to say I have great respect for you and your wife because you two are the only ones that push me to the point where I didn't know if I was going to win this or not. Gave each other that. He gave me a hug. And that's been my dude ever since. Now, needless to say, that did not kill the pain of losing, but I understood where he was coming from, and I love that brother for what he did. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Roosevelt and Joyel Beckles.
Hello.
Hey man, you weren't supposed to tell nobody that story. You weren't supposed to tell that story. You weren't supposed to tell nobody.
Oh man, I know you didn't forget that because I sure didn't.
No, I was in panic mode until the results came out because I knew it would be too close. I knew it was going to be too close. It wasn't fair. It was 2 against 1. So you know.
Hey man, you had the experience, so that was the first time for us. So we didn't know what was coming.
Man, yeah,
but it was awesome. It was awesome all the same.
Yeah, man.
So here's what I have. I have 8 questions.
Okay.
For you and the wife.
Okay. I'm glad you prayed first. Should we prepare ourselves for something, Liv?
Oh no, it's nothing hard. It's nothing hard.
Okay, cool. I didn't bring no books with me.
Okay, here's your first question.
All right.
What is the one thing that got you interested in the financial industry?
Oh Lord.
While he's thinking, let me answer. Because he's gonna be thinking. And for me, it wasn't even the industry, it was the way I seen him approach it and how he started his growth. and started changing overnight. So that made me itself wanting to step in and help and be a part.
Okay.
For me, El, it was once I found out, because you know the pitch they hit us with. They hit you with the same one they hit me with, financial education for free. I was like, okay. Once I found out that this stuff has been out for a while and nobody knew about these concepts and different things, that's why I wanted to do it. I was like, you're going to give me access to concepts, access to this information that's been out here that you keep from people like me. You're going to give me access to this. You're going to let me have in on this? And when they did, I was like, I can't leave. I can't leave. So the information, what I've learned and what I'm learning, that's what made me stay. That's what made me come. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. This is a 2-part question.
Uh-oh.
All right. For Joyel, working with your husband, how has that impacted you? And then for you, Roosevelt, same question. Working with your wife, how did that impact you?
You go first.
So I would say we're two opposite people. He's more outgoing and outspoken, and I am the opposite.
Right.
So like I said, like you said in the bio, the position I'm in has pulled me a long way of where I come from. And okay. I am a stay to myself person. If it doesn't have anything to do with me, I don't have anything to say.
Right. But
working with my husband, it has pulled me out of my comfort zone all the way. I mean,
it's a good way. I praise you.
Way. And like you said, I've always wanted to be a little bit more outspoken. So some people just need to be pushed a little. So when you're put in a situation, you just have to do it. What do they say? Pivot.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop, but you just got to pivot and keep it pushing. So it has like I said, pulled this out all the way for me. So it was a good thing.
Ooh, that's why I had to have her go first there. Leroy, I had to have her do it. But me, it's I've always wondered what it would be like, because when you have your spouse working side by side and you working, I know based off what I've seen on TV, it never ended well. Yeah. So, if you look at TV, the businesses, but honestly, working with her in the business is actually helping our marriage, because you got one aspect of being a wife, a husband, a parent, and then you got the other aspect of you two are building a multi-million-dollar business together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just allows you to see all aspects of your spouse, really. So okay. Yeah,
I know that all too well.
I know you do. Yes. Tell sis I love her. Yes.
Oh, she listening. Okay. What excites you the most about the future of your business?
For the first time in 11 years in this industry, I honestly truly believe in my heart that all limits have been taken off of me. We met at a previous company, so with all the rules and stipulations and already overladen industry of rules and stipulations, you could see yourself winning here, but the vision was so far down the road, you really could see it, but you couldn't. But here, it seems like the road has shortened, and the access to build a multi 7-8 figure business has become simpler.
I agree. You see light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah. And guess what? The tunnel doesn't seem as long.
It sure don't. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I am with you. This is for you, Joy.
Uh-oh.
Being as though you come from the islands, how does the islands change the way you look at life now?
I'm more grateful than anything. Like I said, we travel. So ever since my baby's been young, we travel. When I say travel, overseas for a couple of weeks, travel. So being there and being here, it just allows me to be grateful for the things that I've done and the things that my parents has instilled in me. Yeah. The way I think is a little bit different.
Right.
Because because of where we come from and what we see people go through there, you have to be nothing but grateful and do better.
Right.
So it's being grateful and gratitude.
Got you. Okay, this is for you, Roosevelt.
Okay, Leroy. Okay, Leroy.
Going the route that you went, college, the college thing didn't work out for you, wound up working at Chrysler with your dad. Looking at where you are now, how did all of that, working with your dad and everything that you're doing now, how did that impact the person you are now?
Working with my dad, because see, my dad is from the islands. So working with my people in the Caribbean are raised and come up a little different. You know, you come out of school. When you graduate high school, not only do you know what they teach you in high school, you also come out with a trade, at least back then.
Right.
So when my father graduated high school, but he was also a certified carpenter.
Okay.
So working with my dad and watching him work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, I gained a respect for him, because when I was little, my father was always at work. He was never there. You know, he took time off to spend with us. He took us overseas every 2 years. He took us on vacations. But when he wasn't on vacation with us, he was in Chrysler. And when I got into Chrysler, I seen how he worked, and I realized why he was at Chrysler. He showed me something, and it was so simple. The money was so easy. My father didn't do nothing. He's in there 12 hours a day. He actually worked 2.5, 3 hours out of the 12. The rest of it, he played cards and was drinking coffee. So my father taught me a hustle move. Take advantage of situations that present themselves if you can take advantage of it.
Right.
High risk, high reward, Leroy. His risk was us. The reward was to retire from Chrysler, be retired and live the life he lived comfortably before he passed, and still take his family on vacations and stuff. But the hustle I got from him, what I brought over here, is that if he could do that, working that hard, I sure should be able to do it in this industry without having to put in all that work.
That's what's up. Wow. Y'all see that message?
Yes, I do. Hey baby girl.
Okay. What would you say was the biggest influence on you two, and who do you look at as a mentor?
Go ahead, dear. Hey, Leroy, as you see, my wife says I push her, right? Every chance I get, I shoot shots. I love my baby. I love
it. So we've moved to Warren, Michigan for over 3 years now. So for me, it's still someone that I look at and just watch her when I do get a chance. Is my pastor's wife, Sharon Malone, back in Rockford, Illinois.
Right.
So I haven't met anyone. I haven't met anyone that has like caught my eye in the last couple of years. But she just knowing what she's been through and knowing what God has given her to do in life. She's that person for me.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna be no pastor's wife and all, but
right.
I pray God don't make that call, because that means that because you're my wife, that means I will have to be the pastor, and I pray God ain't put that on me. That's a heavy job. I don't want that.
Very much so. Very much so.
I don't want that one. For me, I've had several mentors. You know, Leroy, they tell us the 5 people in your life that you're around the most will influence your life and your future. So for the last 11 years, my circle has been in this industry for the most part, but I have family and friends outside of that. I have, like, Pastor Malone, the same pastor, has deeply influenced me and my wife. As a matter of fact, he's the one that told me to come to this industry. I asked him at church, because he said it from the pulpit, he used to be an insurance salesman. So we just had a meeting one day after church, and this is why I respect him. We just, went in his office and we chopped it up, a church empty, we just talking. And he the one that told me it's a great industry, it's very lucrative. He said, but just make sure you organize yourself for your family, because it takes up a lot of time helping other people and their family. But he said, if you do it right in the beginning, he said it will set you up for the rest of your life if you do it right in the beginning. So I've had a lot of mentors, Leroy. He taught me so well. Right now, I read Jason Bove, because I watch how he moves. And the one thing about this industry that's always bothered me is because my background is not this industry at all.
Right.
And I was always told somebody with my background would not be viewed lightly or taken seriously in this industry. So when I first came to the industry, everything was to make me not look like who the hell I really am.
Right. we had that discussion.
Yeah. So, I can't help this. I'm from the west side of Indianapolis. I'm a west side cat. That's who I am. Now, God had other plans for me, but that's where I come from. And to watch Jason, watch his success, and watch him be himself and succeed, it allowed me to see I can do the same thing. A lot of people, I have a lot of mentors, Leroy. I just don't tell everybody they're my mentor. I just watch you, see how you move, see what you do, and mimic that. So I have a lot of mentors right now. So I'm just watching. I'm just paying attention and mimicking moves that people make to make myself more successful.
Okay. I like that. Okay. The two of you have a pretty nice sized team. How have your team, when you sit back and you look at your team, how have your team impacted the both of you?
Let me start by saying, so like you said, my bio says I've started a new journey November of last year. So for me, it's different. for me, having somebody call me and say, Joy, how do you do this? When do you do this? So for me, like I said, it took me out of comfortability to know like these people are dependent on me. Mm-hmm. Before I didn't have that because he stood up and did everything he needed to do.
Right.
So they called him whenever they needed to do that. So for me now that they're calling me, sometimes I'm on the phone like, okay, let me get it together. Think about that because this is totally different for me. So it has pushed me, made me feel so a part of it feels like I could really do this. It pushes me every day when I do get a phone call to say, hey, what do you think about this? Or how do you feel about this? What can we do to do this? So it pushes me to do and want to do more.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
Whew. Me, how have they pushed me? Very rarely do people motivate me, Leroy. Mm-hmm. It's hard for another individual to motivate me to do something. It's just who I am.
Right.
But I've always been a giver. I get that from my mom. Oh my God. I have a big heart. I'm extremely passionate. I have a lot of compassion for people. And sometimes it gets in the way. Sometimes it'll put you in a position that you don't need to be in.
Right.
But that's why I wanted to come over on this side totally different. I wanted to come in the field and I want to stay in the field. Now, I know as our business progresses, I won't be able to do that, but to be able to watch these people and watch them interact with my wife and still lead from a whole nother perspective. Leroy, I'm a do it first leader. You know how they always say lead from the front.
That's right.
I find it hard for someone to knock on my door and ask me for advice, and I'm just sitting behind the desk all day. You call me. Where are you at? On an appointment at a client's house doing it? I'm out here. I can't tell you to be out here. I can't tell you to do this if I'm not what, Leroy?
Doing it first.
So my team, what they bring to me is the opportunity to be an example. That's the thing that they give me. They give me life, man. They give me a life, a reason to be an example. And that's the thing. And they actually want it. It's a big part, man. I like being an example to people. Instead of me telling you what you should do, all I'm going to show you is what you should be doing and pick up on it.
There you go.
I think you owe people, when you have people following you, you owe people the opportunity and an example.
That's it.
So you don't want to let them down.
No.
So, you got to do what you got to do.
I agree. I totally agree.
I ain't the best leader, Leroy. Everybody has room to grow, but it's one area I refuse to let anyone say anything negative about me in. I work. I work. If you can't see nothing else I do, watch me work and just do that. Just do the work, because that's what I'm doing the work. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. This one you're gonna have to think a little bit.
Oh, I told you one was gonna come. Whatever happens. She said, how's it gonna go? I was like, I said it's gonna go smooth, but it's gonna be at one point in time. You're gonna have to do something different.
This one ain't hard. Ain't hard.
Okay, cool.
Looking at where you are today, the both of you, what advice would you give the 18-year-old Roosevelt and the 18-year-old Joyel?
Damn.
It's simple. Don't give up. Because to me, I was a person that was quick to give up if it was too hard. So 18, don't give up. Keep going. Something is at the end of that tunnel.
Me, without have told that, oh my God, that ooh. I just remembered who he was. I'm him, but I just remembered that longer. I was like, my God, that was you. What I would say to the 18-year-old me, people who are around you now are really not for you, because that's what got me in the worst situations in my life. Thinking that everyone that says yay and they your friend and even your family don't have good intentions. And if I could have got that 18-year-old to understand that, I would have probably had a better life. Outlook, because I've had a good life, but I could have taken a lot of obstacles that were self-induced away. And a lot of self-induced stuff is really what hurt me the most, Leroy. I can't even blame nobody for the stuff I went through, because like you said, when I was 18, I look back on it, I didn't have to do it.
Right.
But that 18-year-old, he did. I ain't even gonna lie, Leroy. If I could go back and meet the 18-year-old me, I'd kidnap him, put him in the trunk, and take his place. Real talk. I mean, I can't, because
right.
Leroy, what I know now, I could not go to the 18-year-old me and just talk. I got to take him out the way. Right. I need you to move. Let me show you what we're going on. Then after a few years, I'm gonna release you and let you take it over. But bro, I just got to give him a jump.
Right.
I just got it, because at 18, I ain't even gonna tell you, if I was to walk up to me at 18 and talk to me, regardless how heartfelt or whatever it was, at 18, I can't even tell you I would even listen to me, man. That's why I say he'd be in the trunk, duct tape ankles, legs around his mouth, and I would just go.
Okay. All right. This is your last question.
Okay.
If there was any one thing that you could change, and this is addressed to both of you, in your life and in the world, what would it be?
In my life, the main thing I would change in my life, man, would be some of my habits. I got bad habits. I got a few still lingering bad habits. How I would change the world? Well, it's only really one thing that really changes the world. God is doing what he's doing, but on earth, this unrighteous mammon we dwelling in, I want the laws, man. That's been my whole goal for doing what I'm doing in the first place. Yeah, what we do, Leroy, we help a lot of families, we help a lot of people. But because we could have 1 million agents, Leroy, it's still gonna take forever. Why? Because the people at the top, the lawmakers, those are the changes that really need to be made.
You're right.
So if I could change anything, yeah, I'm going to the top first.
Got you. All right, Miss Joy.
I would say, let me say this. I try to make everything simple. So let me give you this one word. I would say the mindsets. I know me back then, my mindset wasn't good.
Right.
So I would say my mindset. And then for the world, I would say mindset as well, because so many people this mindset is taking over and people don't even realize it. That's why we live in the world we live in now.
That's right. That's right. And it's crazy.
Like I said, one word.
You're right. Mindset. Okay. Well, you are off the hot seat now.
I knew it, baby. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
You are on the hot seat, man.
Let me say this,
awesome.
bro. I've always respected you and sis, man, because of the way y'all carried yourself and the way y'all dealt and talked and communicated with each other as a husband and wife. So you were also one of the mentors, one of the people that we watched how you and your wife get down. So I appreciate you, and I'm truly, truly thankful for the opportunity you put me on your show. It's going to break all the records. This is going to be the best show ever done. Nobody's ever going to top it because you know, like I know from that class, I don't play that. I don't play. So let me know when you're just going to air, and I'll make sure it gets the best ratings of everything. I'm going to push it.
Will do. Well, to let you know, as soon as we get done, it's going to air.
Okay, let's go, baby. I'm about to push it now. I'm about to push it.
Yes, you know, just to say this, and I'm sure my wife could vouch. And this is just right out of the blue. The first two people that we met were you and the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not even gonna go there, but when we met y'all, and then looking at everybody else that was in that room at that particular time, who just disappeared. They disappeared for a reason. And I was watching something last night where Mike Tyson said, every enemy ain't your enemy. Every person that helps you don't want anything from you. Every family member ain't family. Now, this is coming from Mike Tyson, who should know.
Yes.
Because he had a lot of people in his corner, being as though he was the heavyweight champion of the world. He had people at his beck and call. He had so many yes people, so on and so forth. And then when he was broke, he had nothing. All those people were gone.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say, God put people in your life that's going to serve a purpose.
Yes, sir.
And the people that he take away is for you to learn something right then and there. And then he remove them. You guys are still here. So that speaks volumes. We always loved you two. Out of anybody that we met from that other company, we've always loved you too.
We know,
and especially when you said what you said to me at the end of the program. But you had me then, brother, when you put your hand on my shoulder.
Thank you. Yeah.
But I'm honored that you guys took the time to do this. You know, I appreciate it. We love you both. Just know that. And I don't care where we are, wherever we may be, you know, you always have a home here in VA. Now, my wife then typed some long. Okay, hold on. There you go.
I know, right, sis. I know, sis, but I need you to understand those are the bad habits I told you I got. I got them. I got a couple. But we love y'all, man. Y'all have always been straight up and honest, and I'm an integrity guy. Integrity speaks volumes to me, because from where I come from, trust is everything, and you can't trust nobody without integrity. Because if you trust somebody without integrity, you can't judge their integrity. You can't measure it.
Right.
So you have high integrity levels. So does she, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Yep. So on that note, I'm gonna put y'all in the back of the studio. Don't go nowhere. I'm gonna just wrap this up.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The ultimate power couple, CEOs and business owners, the Beckles. You know, like I said, God's put people in your life for a reason. And those that he take away, it was only for you to learn something at that particular time before he took them away. But the Beckles are still here. So that means God ain't done with the both of us. We still got a lot of stuff we need to do. But I thank everybody for getting on the show. I appreciate it. Just know this is going to be one of the biggest shows. So if you haven't seen it, please go see it. It is awesome. You're going to love this couple because we love them. Until the next show, God bless and enjoy your weekend. Take care.